With mortgage interest rates remaining low, not as low as they once were, still at a historical low, and the cost of rents going up, and the increased amount of mortgage applications, why are we seeing a stagnant market? Why are we seeing lower sales? Why are we seeing a lower inventory? It might work backwards, right? We might have a lower inventory because of these things. So the question we've posed in the past few weeks to our industry professionals is, why are we seeing the apprehension to sell? What we've done, or what I've done, is reached out to some industry professionals locally here in West Michigan and posed this question to them: why are we seeing less homes on the market for sale, and why does there seem to be, or a perception that there's an apprehension for those current homeowners to sell and move up, or take advantage of the equity they have in their home? And we got some great feedback. Let's see what they had to say.
Anthony, Steve here, responding to your text message. Would love to hear what other agents that you might have sent that message to have to say. I got two major questions from it. Why are people not selling when it's a great market to sell? And what do we do to make it easier for them to go ahead and move forward with listing or selling their home? To answer the first question, why are people not? Some of it I do believe is still seasonality. We are just finishing up the last week of February, getting into March. I know we as real estate agents believe the spring market's already hit because our buyer pool is getting bigger, but the sellers just have not hit that spring market fashion yet. They're calling us as agents. They are having conversations. They're doing listing appointments. Got 2 text messages from sellers today that are saying, March or April, end of March, beginning of April. I think that we'll see inventory come on the market once spring break hits, or just after spring break. So I think we're still a little early. So it doesn't feel any good when we've got all these buyers that want stuff. There's nothing on the market for them to buy, but I think it will come, or some inventory will come. And then, why else? Ultimately, they are, why somebody doesn't do something is usually always related to value, right? Either they don't find what they're looking for, another property, so they don't see the value in communicating to the general public that their house is available if they don't find value out there in the market. If there's not something valuable for them to purchase, or they don't know where they're going to go, they aren't willing to speak up themselves, is probably one of the biggest things. It's just an inventory shortage makes the rest of the inventory shrink as well, right? So we're sort of bottlenecked right now, and probably will be for a while still. How do we make it easier? You can go back and forth on, is coming soon a good idea, right? Or is longer periods for rental a thing, right? So part of the conversations I've had with a couple of different clients or people that have been at the gym that have asked me questions is, Steve, we're building right now, and we'd like to sell our house, but we won't have that house ready till October or November. When should we list, right? And you'd like to say, well, do it now, but they don't want to be homeless. They don't want to move twice. So some of it might be just understanding that if you want to buy a house, the seller is going to require a rent back for 6 months, right? But the issue is, you're a lender. Tell me if that's possible, right? When they're checking the box, the buyer is checking the box that they're going to be an owner occupied, but they have a tenant that is the old owner for 6 months in it while that person finds a new house or builds a new house. That's where it bottles up. So if you want to make things easier, something could obviously be opening up a stream of cash or investment that allows people to invest or to purchase, but able to rent back. You see that somewhat on the coast that are happening, or in Texas. There's a couple of companies that are starting to do the we'll buy your house from you right now for value. You can rent it back from us for up to 2 years at X amount of rate and rent. And when you move out, they then go and flip the house and resell it. So sort of a bird in the hand is better than 2 or 3 in the bush. So that might be coming, right? If inventory is still tight, people are still nervous, need to sell before they can buy, but not really willing to list until they find, you'll find some people will come along with enough cash to create an investment pool to bridge the gap of selling and buying. So those are just a long-winded 5 minutes of some ideas. There's plenty of things that can happen. More land to build on that's economical. Builders being able to find employees to be able to frame and build so that they can start building stuff underneath the 300 price point. All the construction generally is 300 and up right now in our region, which isn't necessarily affordable for a lot of people, which then hurts our inventory. So we need some more starter homes built, but land is not plentiful for that. So then what's next, right? What kind of product is affordable, those kind of things. So hope that answers your question. Thanks for asking. Always great to see your face. See ya.
Hey Anthony, great question. I think that there are layers to the answer. I've heard lots of reasons why people are not selling their home, even though it's a great time to sell. But I do think that at the root of all of those layers of answers is fear. And I think that that's the underlying cause that people are cautious before they decide to make that move. Nobody wants to end up without one of the most important things, and that's shelter. And people take a lot of pride in the roof that they put over their head. So I think that fear of being able to find not just any house, but the right house is what is holding people back. And I think that finding solutions for them is key, whether that be figuring out how they can maybe purchase before they have to move, or a plan B for where they could go in between if they don't find something right away, or maybe even talking to them about options of possession of their home after they sell before they have to move out completely. So those are my thoughts for today. Hope that's helpful.
Anthony Mosley, Ryan Ogle here from Blue House Properties. I'm not going to look at the camera a whole lot because I'm driving down to Chicago right now. But to answer your question from yesterday, why are people not selling their homes? Why are they not putting them on the market? It's a seller's market. There's low inventory. Everybody knows about it, right? Wrong. We know about it because we're in the industry. A lot of that public doesn't pay attention to housing and homes. They've lived in their house a long time. They have no idea what the value is. They weren't thinking about moving. So until we inform more people or get out there and meet them and let them know that their house is desirable and the value's gone up, some of them aren't thinking about selling. So we have to get out and find people who are willing to sell and educate them. Second reason, they want to find a house to buy first. The fear of doing 2 or 3 moves, the fear of renting, the fear of a temporary move is definitely holding some people back. So you got to get creative in finding them a home so you can get their house up for sale. Otherwise, this log jam will never burst open. And that's the problem I have with my clients. I have unlimited homes to sell, but I have to find them a house first. So sometimes you have to, again, educate them, list their home with some creative, specific wording and contingencies so that they don't have to sell until they find the right one to buy. And there's a lot more to that. That's more of a trade secret that I use, so I'm not going to go into detail. The third thing is just the area we live in. West Michigan's booming. People want to live here. More people are moving here from out of state. More people are graduating college and landing jobs here in town. And so we just have less inventory. So we have to start building. We have to really start bringing more product to the table, and that will create more inventory, and we can, again, let this log jam burst open. So hopefully that helps you out, bud. Thanks for asking me.
Thank you very much, Steve, Michelle, and Ryan. Appreciate your feedback. Appreciate you taking time out of your schedules to respond to me and my questions. I want to leave this open for conversation. If other people have their opinions on the matter, I'd love your input. If you're a consumer and you have questions and you'd like to talk, give some options, voice your concerns, feel free to do so. Thank you very much. Talk to you guys later.